Bengaluru-based Orxa Energies has introduced its electric motorcycle Mantis. Businessline's G Balachandar spoke to its founders Rajwal, Sabnis and Ranjita, Ravi about the electric bike targeted at high-end segment, the development journey and the road ahead.
So I think for us the rationale is that we wanted to target this market, which is a growing segment, and India being such a big two-wheeler market, it's not that there's only a one-size-fits-all product. There are multiple segments and sub-segments, and we saw that there is a very big opening in this particular segment, and that's what we wanted to address. Yeah. In terms of acceptability, there are different segments of people who would like to ride a motorcycle. It could be many of your big bike owners who typically use big bikes for longer rides but want something fun and peppy for the city. Or it could also be someone who's trying to aspire and trying to move up from a 150cc or a commuter motorcycle bike, to a higher segment. I think the supply chain for something like this is quite interesting and tricky, because you're trying to attempt a product that's in a niche which is not very usual. I mean, a EV performance segment which is pretty targeted, but it has very specific requirements. So from that perspective, I wouldn't say it was a challenge. It was the bigger part of building the supply chain challenge was finding the right people to work with, and in that we've actually had a fair bit of success and we've had wonderful partners.
Charging is something that's very important, especially when you think of an electric motorcycle in the segment. You're thinking about ranges more than 200 kilometers per charge already. So we address it actually in 3-4 different ways. One is that when we started off, we already were sure that we wanted a 9 kilowatt hour battery pack, this large battery pack that would give you this sort of 200 kilometer range. Then the other things was how to make sure that the electricity goes into the battery pack available for you to ride, right? So right now with the deliveries, we will have 3 options. One is a standard charger that the bike will come with. So this will plug in your normal 5 amp plug point in your house and 0 to 80% in about 5 hours. We also have what we call as a Blitz charger. So Blitz charger, it will go in your 16 amp plug point in your house, a normal heating line that you would have in your house, and that would take you from 0 to 80% in only 2.5 hours. But this still, when you want to go on long rides, or say you want to go Bangalore, Chennai for example, if you want to do this ride, even then you might still feel some range anxiety. Even for this, we have 2 solutions. One, we're working with partners for DC fast charging network. So the DC fast charging standard has just come out, and there are a few players in the market who are setting out fast charging for light electric vehicles basis this standard. We're working with some of them, and the Mantis is already ready for it. So whatever sort of communication protocols and everything that's needed, we are already ready for it. We're working with them. We'll announce this partnership shortly. We're looking at something like about 100 fast charging stations along highways in about a year's time. This is one solution. But what about those highways where these particular 100 are not, right? So even in terms of accessories, we will be delivering the bikes with the option of having accessories where you have a top box, a luggage box, where you can put the Blitz charger and secure it safely. A lot of this comes from the work that we have already put in terms of our battery management system and the thermal management system on our battery packs. So the partner we're working with is very exacting and very particular in terms of the quality of the batteries at the end of their life, or the state of health as it's called, right? So since we have such an advanced system that takes care of the battery management, that takes care of the health of the battery, that takes care of the thermal management, at the end of life, what that means is they can take that battery and repurpose it for a second life, earn money out of that second life, and then take it to recycling and then recover the cost of the recycled materials. This benefit will be passed on to the consumers.
So I think there's substantial interest in the motorcycle, and obviously we are getting a lot of queries, a lot of bookings, things like that. So our first priority is going to make sure that whatever we have promised to the customer yesterday during the launch event, we have to make sure that we absolutely get it out in the hands of the people who are willing to pay for it upfront. And at the same time, we also want to ensure that whatever we promised in terms of after sales service, we are putting some partnerships in place.
Yeah.
We want to really work hard on that customer experience, which has to be built out early in the process, because that's one of the biggest complaints that we are seeing in the EV industry. Although the industry is growing very quickly, although there's a lot of interest on the commuter segment, in the commuter space, where people are delivering a lot of EVs, the after sales service has been something that's found to be very challenging for many companies to address.
It's a learning curve.
And this is not just young startups, even established OEMs are having challenges addressing this.